when we first got it, there was actually like big steel doors here. Through in here, there was another steel gate, and they had like electric buzzers and locks and stuff to get through it. Back in the day, they used to have like a security guard down here, and they had to be buzzed through the initial steel door, and then there was the internal one. So Sunset Club is what it was originally called back, I think, when it was the casino in the 80s. I don't know, somewhere in the 90s, I think someone painted over at Carlton Club Association or something, which I think there's some signs elsewhere about. But then the original one was Sunset, which we went back to. But other than that, this was all the original signage from when it used to be the casino. It used to be like Alphonse Gangitano's underground casino in the 80s. And then they were open about literally 5 weeks, eventually shut down because I think they first came through the front door like twice, and then every time they come in here, they'd have to be buzzed in, and there's like a couple little hidden rooms, and they just chuck all the poker chips and cards and money and everything in there. As a result, they never really caught anyone doing anything illegal, but it was like literally the who's who of Melbourne's underworld was in here. The third time they came down the street, the cops came down Nicholson Street with ladders. They put them up against the awning out the front. The cops came up ladders and jumped through the windows, and so they caught them all in the action without having to be buzzed in. Yeah, so if the cops showed up down there, they would obviously yell up the stairs not to open the doors. And then behind here, there's actually a switch that's still there, which I think still makes you hear a little buzzing sound when I hit it. And that actually pops open a door just around here. It's now our storage room for tables and tiles and whatever's broken. Apparently the guys who ran the place actually all had magnetic rings, and they could swipe on that door and it'd pop open as well. And you know, when you consider it was like 1987, it's pretty sophisticated, you know. But then there was through here, this was their office, like their cash office. And so that window there that slides over here used to have like opaque red glass in it you couldn't see, and they could slide it, and I think it used to have a lock on it too that we took off. It's sort of like a big desk in here, and if, you know, I guess if people want poker chips or whatever, because they had like illegal 1AM bandit things that they smuggled into the country, and there's PowerPoints everywhere that used to be plugged in. And we actually found the old like metal coins that they worked on, because they didn't work on proper coins. So I think you had to come and swap your money for these little metal discs that would work in them. And then there was also this one here that also opens up in here, and that's where they had their safe, which is all still in there from back in the day. We actually found, like they used to have like AGMs, like there's minutes from their illegal casino, like, you know, when they're like talking about the issues they had of like running an illegal casino, you know, it's like, you know, it was all pretty organized. So we had in here, so this was the billiards room. When we took it, it still had the original full-size billiards table that was here from the casino days, and it actually came out, I think it's the Victoria room or something, like where the great bookie robbery happened or whatever, which is a bit of sort of folklore these days. But obviously it took up the entire room, you know, and I think, you know, it was just more of a you know, an eyesore in the end than it was actually of any use. So we eventually took it out, but you still saw the details and whatever is still here from it. And then there was actually also through here in the bathrooms, they used to, where you can kind of even see on the walls, there used to be a hidden room here as well that we took out. So that kind of went across this corner of the bathroom, and it had a little doorway, which is still there, that actually goes into the back of the kitchen. But the way it used to be set up, there was another door in there that opened and sort of covered up this door. So if anyone sort of walked to the room, it just looked like where the cold room was with the door open, you couldn't see it. But if you actually walked into the room and closed the door, there was another door behind it that entered into this little room here. So it's like, you can see these timber feet details. There used to be like chandeliers hung there instead of the fans, but I don't know, it was just sort of, it was the wrong side of, you know, what we wanted it to be, so we took them out.